All right, welcome back to Stationeers. So we are in episode 11, I think. Yeah, I think we're in 11 now, if I can count. So did a couple things in between episodes. What else did I do? Some other stuff. Before we jump into that, though, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on the last video. Been great to see. And then let's put our suit on. So one of the things I did, you can see in there, is I expanded out our batteries. So now we have more storage from our wind during storms to help with the increased power use. So we are making about 30 kilowatts during the day, and we're using anywhere from about 20 to 25 consistently. So that added storage helps when the storm comes through. Let's see. Some other things I did was I started the process on getting all of our trade platforms hooked up with liquid and gas outputs. So let's take a look at that real quick before we jump into working on our volatile production. So I went through, added in a liquid output and a gas output, as well as 2 storages to each of our trade platforms out here. I haven't touched the ones inside the hangars yet, but I have all of this stuff hooked up. So it goes through, meets here in the middle, and then continues on all the way down through here. Then it makes a turn, I believe, right here. Then goes all the way down this way. And then we are hooking everything up. So yeah, here's the connections, and then we're hooking everything up down here in this part of the base. So we have our liquid CO2 here for our liquid CO2 tank, our liquid nitrous there, our gas nitrous here, and then our gas oxygen, volatile, and nitrogen are right here. And that's all I've done with it so far, is just get everything kind of hooked up, everything plugged in. But we'll worry about that maybe later. Let's take a look. One of the other things I did was I moved our pressurant valve over to our nitrogen. So we are using nitrogen to pressurize our tank here to convert all of that nitrous into liquid using nitrogen. Got oxygen in there. And then I turned off most of our neutralizers. So we just have the one holding our chip running at the moment. Once we have... the issue holding us up right now is the lack of nitrogen. So let's see. So yeah, this guy should pressurize up to, I think, 2 megapascals. But it's not. So I wonder if we just hook in another vent, if that will help. So let's grab some cables, or some pipe. And some cable. And if we go like that. Oh, did I hook it up to the vents on there? I did. Okay. I'll change that later. But goal for today is going to be working on our volatile production. So we have our volatile tank down below, so we'll need to run it up here somewhere. And I'm thinking we'll just do volatile production kind of right here in this area. And let's see. So if we're going to do that, we have our volatile gas right here. So we could run this. We'll have to run this over and then somewhere over here. Which I think the easiest way to do that would be probably just running it straight across. Maybe hooking it up through here. I'll just go through the wall. So we'll just go through the wall and then come up right here. Yeah. So let's start doing that. So I want our volatile to come up right there. We'll run our pipe down this way. Alright, so we got our volatile moved up here now. So I decided to just do a one-way valve on this so we can kind of control if we want to share volatile with our fuel production or if we want to separate out the pipe network. That was the thinking behind this. So we got our volatiles here sitting at about 25 degrees. Now let's look at our gases and see what we need to cool it down to. So we need to be less than negative 82 degrees or so, negative 80. And we don't need that much pressure. So let's figure this out. So I haven't worked with these before. The evaporation and condensation chambers. I think condensation is what we want. So we want to bring this in as a gas and then convert it over to a liquid. So thinking we do this right here. We'll build this guy right here first. I think he needs, yeah, steel sheets. Hopefully I got some here. I got a little bit. I need a wrench. And welding torch now. Okay. So let's play a round with this. So I want... probably set it to maybe negative 170 or so. So 37.1 kilopascal. So we'll just set it to 38. Okay, so we got that there. Let's hook up our power. I think this will be its own network as well, so we'll need an area power supply. Let's figure out how we are going to set this up first. So there's that. I'm gonna bring power out to here and then run it over this direction to a power cable that I laid for our rockets eventually. So we'll do that guy right there. All right, so we got our power wired in for the most part. Now I think we do connection for gas heat exchange, gas input, liquid output. So our input will be here. Yeah, definitely gonna fumble through this episode learning how to do this. So there's our input. Now gas out or liquid output. We want a liquid storage tank. And I think, let's see, so we have our liquid nitrogen there, or nitrous. So what we could do is do our liquid volatiles right here. That way it's a little easier to run the pipes everywhere that will need to go. So if we turn this guy on, oh, we don't have power. Okay, let's go grab power then. I'll grab some more steel sheets as well. Doesn't look like I have an area power supply, so we'll get one built real quick. Try and tidy up a little bit while we're in here. Let's put our power down and then see how this works. Okay, so that's our power. Now if we turn this guy on, so pressure goes up, that's good. So it sets it to the pressure that we want. Now we need to connect a heat exchange, which what I am thinking is that maybe we use our nitrous as our heat exchange because the temperature on here can go all the way up to 148 without issue. Yeah, and temperature on this tank is relatively low. Could also tie it into this system as well, since we already have the hookup here for making sure that this empties if it gets above a certain temperature. And it ties it into our cooling on our base. That could be a good idea. Let's see. So currently, if we look, so this is set currently to be, okay, so it's currently set to -20. let's change that to be -30. So we'll comment that -30 C. So if we export this guy, so that kicks on, which causes our vent to kick on as well. And then this will lower the temperature even more. Yeah, we're down to -50 outside. Oop. Fell through the hole. Okay. So this should help lower the pressure in there, which will also lower the pressure here. Yeah, so I think we'll use this as our medium for transferring the heat. So let's grab some insulated pipes. So if we do that, so that's -30 down here. So that will lower this temperature down to -30. Let's see, maybe we need to do a heat exchange on this first. Because we need to lower this temperature as low as possible. So let's grab a heat exchanger. So let's take a look, see if we can get this to work. So I'm thinking we do something like this. Forgot the steel sheets. Forgot that I was going to grab some of those. Hopefully this is enough. Wrench and a pipe. And let's try hooking these guys together. Okay, so this should be cooling down this pipe now. Okay. Let's see, what does the other one do? Do we need to do evaporation first? Is that what we need? And then we could use our liquid CO2 maybe as a coolant. Let's grab some more steel sheets. Yeah, I think I did this backward. I think we need evaporation first. That will cool the gas down more. So if that's the case, let's pop this out. Turn this guy off. I think we just use this guy to cool the volatiles down first. Oh, we just got the achievement, so survived 365 days. So sweet. That's our main goal done. Now it's side quest. So let's deconstruct this. Oops. So this will be our heat exchange, our gas output, and our liquid input. So for liquid, we want to do CO2. Yeah, we'll just use this pipe here for our CO2. So I think we want to connect this to our volatiles, because that's going to take our, should be cooled, I think. And then our gas output will just be the CO2. So we do a pressurant valve to repressurize the CO2 so it stays a liquid, is my thinking. And we'll just pressurize this guy up to, say, 5,000. Yeah. So if we do that, so evaporation chamber. All right, we'll just turn it on, see what happens. Okay, so temperature negative 29.1. Tank in there, negative 19. Negative 28. Okay, so temperature is going down on here. So we are evaporating. So negative 10 in there, it's coming in at negative 28. This is negative 4 already. Okay. What happens if we increase that pressure? Let's disconnect this so we can see what's going on with just doing this. And now temperature is increasing, so does that mean we need the pressure lower? What happens if we do 0? Yeah, it's not really doing what I thought it would do. Okay. Okay, we'll top up our food and water and then come back to this. All right, so I am back. And before we get started in this, it's actually been about a day for me. Had to pause the recording, forgot that I was going to watch a hockey game with the wife. So I had some time to think about what we are doing over here, and I realized, so let's pause our game and take a look at our gas. So I believe that, yeah, right here. So our cooling for carbon dioxide won't be low enough because it's in a freeze before it would actually cool our volatiles down. So let's see. Volatiles. Yeah, so we would actually freeze before we actually cool the volatiles down enough to get liquid. So what I'm thinking is we could try using pollutant instead. So we could gather pollutant and use this as our refrigerant to cool our volatiles down. And this would be enough, I believe. Yeah, so we have a small overlap here of the temperature that we could get to. The other option would be maybe using nitrogen. But it's about the same as volatiles. And I think pollutant is going to be a little easier to get since it's already available here in the atmosphere. So let's take a look. Yeah, so this is working and it's gathering the CO2, the liquid CO2. So all we would need to do is put a filter on. Actually, let's look. So instead of gathering stuff at night like this system is doing currently, what we could do, and we'll leave this set up to the heat exchanger. This will act as our pre-cooler. So we can try to cool the volatiles down. Like currently it's negative 12 in there. So I'm thinking we would do something during the day. So like over here, let's look at this code. Yeah, I think we'll just end up doing our own system for this. So we do have some active vents, so perfect. And what we'll do is set it up so it's opposite. So during the day, it will take in Mars atmosphere, and then we'll, at that higher temperature, then we can condense it down into liquid pollutant, and then we don't have to worry about contamination from liquid CO2. And then with pollutant, we can use that to make our, as a cooling agent to cool down our volatiles by using the evaporation chamber here. And then this will be, yeah, still our heat exchange. This is our liquid. This is a condensation chamber, so we need a, I believe it's evaporation chamber. Let me look here. Stuff's always so complicated. Okay, yeah, so we'll use a evaporation chamber to bring liquid pollutant in. Then we will evaporate it as evaporation will absorb the heat. Then we'll have gas pollutant out to a condensation chamber, which will pull the pollutant gas in, condense it back into a liquid. And that will be our heat dump. So we'll have cooling and heating, I think, if I understand this correctly. So I think I need to change this guy out. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so we have our evaporation chamber. Let's get this guy. There we go. And there's that. And then this should be where we would connect in our volatiles. Okay. And then we're going to have liquid pollutant right here. Which... actually, we could reuse this, yeah. So let us... So if we do this as liquid pollutant, that means we are going to want a active vent somewhere over here. Which I'm thinking we'll just do one right here. Then we will need... Do I want to use a insulated tank? I don't think so. I think instead we want to put down some insulated piping. So this is how we will store our liquid pollutant during the day. So that's that. We will need a chip. So let's put this guy... We'll do it over here. There we go. Pollutant liquid maker. Oops, I need a chip in there first. Got one here. And let's take a look. So, starting off, I know we want a sensor so we can get the temperature on the outside. There we go. Then we're going to have an active vent. We're going to have a vent name. I'll just keep that there for now. So we have sensor, a vent. What else are we going to have? I think just that for now. So let's do a start and a loop. And jump back to loop. There we go. Okay. So first things first, let's put this information in. So sensor, gas sensor. So we have this here. Then we have a active vent. That will go there. And let's see. So this guy, active vent, pollutant. take. There we go. That will be the name for this guy. So first thing we want to do is load into R0 from the sensor. Also going to need a sensor name. So load batch name. We want to get the temperature and just the average. And let's look at our carbon dioxide. So we won't get a liquid until so we got to be greater than negative 8.1 degrees Celsius. And if we look at our pollutant, we just need to be, yeah, we can go all the way down to negative 96. So carbon, so as long as we are over set greater than R0, based on R0, if we are over, let's do negative 2 degrees, that'll give us some wiggle room. So that's negative 2C. Oops. There we go. So if we are greater than that, then we will set batch name, vent name on R0. So that will start pressurizing our system. Let's see if I have a sensor out here. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't see one out here, so let's run inside real quick, grab one. We can also grab some more utility kits. So there's another utility kit. There's another one, and then there's some sensors. All right. And the sensor, we will put this guy right over here. It's away from everything, so it shouldn't get confused if we are venting anything in the atmosphere over here. Or we're not venting anything in the atmosphere over here, so it should be fine. Gas sensor, pollutant, liquid. That's what this thing's gonna be doing. Okay. So here's that. Then we will need a connector here. So I want a condensation valve. Probably do 3 of them to be safe. Might be overkill, but that's what we do. Okay, and then let's grab some piping. All right, and then our liquid is going to go over here. Paint that so color matches. Same with this. Actually, that's a bad idea. We'll do orange, brown. There we go. And if we export this guy. Okay, so once it gets up above negative 2 degrees, should kick on, so let's see. Alright, so it kicked on. I should set that inward. There we go. So now it is starting to pressurize everything. And internal safety is set to 50 megapascals, which what we could also do is do a pressure regulator here. Where would I want to do it? So a back pressure regulator. We need a place that we can connect in our cable. I don't want to do it in the same voxel or the same area here as this frame, since our vent is right there. So maybe we do it over here. Yeah, we'll do one space here, that way we can bring our power through. So, yep, back pressure regulator. Then this guy, I think I want to turn it so it goes up like that. And we'll put a cowl on there. Okay. And then we'll run power out this way. So no liquid in there. Might actually be better to do a bigger vent, because it doesn't look like that is pulling in enough. So we'll do it right here. And what do we need? Screwdriver and 2 pipes. There we go. Now we need welding torch and 2 things of plastic, which we do not have any plastic on us, but we should have some right here in our door. Perfect. Got 21. So there's that. And then we'll change the code over so it controls this instead. Alright, so we got that updated. Now let's do powered vent in here. Powered vent. Take this guy, export it, update that code. Here's that. Turn this guy off. We can actually pick him up. Oops, and we need a connector here. And it's already -3 outside. Okay, let's pause the game real quick. Let's do -5, I think. I think that will still work. Yeah, it won't have as much leeway. Okay, so -5. Export that, and then that kicks on, and that should gather a lot more. And as you can see, we are getting our pollutant in there, and now we have pollutant in here, and it's already down to -76, 77 degrees. So that is perfect. And then we will take our pollutant from here, hook it into the sky. So that's our input for our evaporation chamber. And basically for pollutant, we want to evaporate it at -90, so we need 1928. So we will set this to 1928. That will start taking in liquid pollutant and then evaporating it. And then any gas above that pressure will be exported out. So that will come out in this pipe. And we need a condensation chamber. Okay, so this is our liquid output. So this will just go back and connect to our liquid here for our pollutant. And we have, so this will be our heat exchange. And I think I'm just gonna run this up and over. So there's that. I think we will do a connector in up here so it has plenty of volume. So the condensation chamber will handle the pressure regulation to condense it down into a liquid, is what I'm thinking. If I'm understanding the process correctly. So we got those there. Okay. Now, what do we have that we should heat up? Don't know if we have anything. Nitrous might be a good idea to heat that up. But we're already doing something for that over here. I think we are just going to vent it, which, if I am understanding it correctly, I think I can just put a connector on straight to atmosphere. That will just act as our median for this pipe network. So we can see -51 degrees. Yep. We're already down to -26 degrees in there. So if we turn that guy on, we just have pollutant gas in there. This guy won't have anything in there yet. And the pressure that we want should just be the same as this guy. And this guy I want to set to 39,500 and turn that on. So this will charge it up to 50 megapascals, and then this will empty it down back to 3950. So it should create a loop. That way we are getting consistent pollutant being pulled in. Okay, so I think we just need to wait for daytime for this guy. So yeah, we got those going, got these in. Let's take a look over here. What we should honestly do is something similar to that to check, let's see, we have our vents. Sensor is down there. Okay. Let's take a look at this code again. So we'll load in the from the sensor, or the gas sensor, the temperature outside. If that is over 0 degrees Celsius and our pressure is less than 3 megapascals, then we will turn our vent on. Otherwise, our vent stays off. So if we export that, put that in there, then our vent should turn off. Perfect. And then during the day when it heats up, then the vent should turn back on. So that's good. How's our temperature over here? So our base temperature is back down to negative 30. So we should just be waiting on daytime to come so we can start gathering this. Yeah, if we start gathering it now, with it being negative 50 outside, the CO2, I believe, will freeze. Right? Freezing temperature, so negative 55. So it won't freeze, but it's going to turn into very cold liquid CO2. Yeah, so just waiting on that. So while we are waiting on that, let's head back inside. We will retop our food and water. Alright, got our food and water topped back up. Let's take a look. So once we hit negative 5, that should kick back on. And let's see. This one won't kick back on until it's 0, so it's gonna take a little bit longer for it. Let's get rid of this. So stress is increasing. Liquid CO2 is going away. Pollutant is condensing because of that pressure. I think I put a drain out here. Yeah. So all of that stuff should be draining out right here. Probably need another drain though. So let's go like that. Should help keep the stress down. There we go. So all those liquids will get out of there. How's this guy? So 368 moles sitting in our CO2 or nitrous tank or gas tank. 158 liters of liquid nitrous. Our volatiles are down to negative 28. Okay, our pollutant is starting to evaporate, which is good. It means that this temperature should start coming down. Which, in that case, maybe I don't want this connected in. Yeah. That would help if I was doing a separate network. Meaning like I had a pipe here and then it went down into like another pipe or something. Like a separate pipe network where I had maybe like a one-way valve here. Then maybe that could work. Actually, yeah, if I did a one-way valve there, then we could put this guy back on as a pre-cooler. That would help cool this down to at least negative 30 degrees. Then we do a one-way valve. One-way valve gas, turn that on. So that will, yeah, this will keep cooling down now. So yeah, already negative 44. And then, let's see, where do we want to bring our liquid out at? I'm thinking we do our liquid tank over here. For our volatiles, which means we need to get a pipe over here. So there's that. We need a way to condense that volatiles into a liquid. And I'm thinking we'll do that right here. So we need a condensation chamber. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, like that. So our volatiles cooling down, negative 65 already. Negative 28 in the tank. So our pressure hasn't gone above the limit yet for our pollutant. So the main issue is just not getting enough pollutant in here. But that helps with us releasing the gas stored in here. Yeah, I think it's just gonna take time for this to pressurize the system, which adding some more volume might help. So maybe we do a pipe rate or a tank here, just like that, to add some more volume. Maybe that will help. It'll at least give us a better chance to capture that pollutant. What we could actually do is connect this in to our heat exchanger or heat dump. That way it dumps the heat into here. That could help, maybe. Would that actually help? I think once the system gets processed, because what we're doing right now is just priming the system. So I think that's going to take some time. But once it's primed, everything will be closed, except for the heat from here. But that's just going to be what the atmospheric temperature is outside. So I think that will be fine. Yeah, well, I think this will just take some time to see. And let's look. Already down to negative 69 degrees. And I believe that is still dropping. We're just waiting on more pollutant to be added into the system. Which I wonder if we get rid of this tank, what will that do? Because that should force all the pollutant into here. Yeah, I think that will give less room for the pollutant, or less volume, which we don't need that much pollutant. So let's try this out. There we go. There's that. And then I don't think we have anything in there yet. Yeah. So instead, we'll move this guy over here. Yeah, negative 69 degrees. And nothing in there yet. Okay. One thing that we could do. And what we can do with this is our portable scrubbers that we are using around the base. We can bring those down and unload them into there to gather all that pollutant. Oh, actually, never mind, because I'm just venting it. Okay. Never mind. Actually, the one upstairs, it's gonna be empty because I don't think I have anything in there from spray painting. We can take a look though. We can also check on our plants. So let's see. Soybeans. Did I need to plant any more soybeans? It looks like I do. Actually, never mind, because I think I am out of nitrogen. Because we're using it all to make nitrous. Yeah, we are out of nitrogen. Yeah, all my soybeans are gonna die at this point. And let's see, portable scrubber. Yeah, it doesn't have anything in it. Okay. There's that. Let's toss some soybeans back in there. Potatoes, wheat, and soybeans. Okay, so good on all that. Take a look at everything else. We could also try capturing pollutant from the furnace. Try doing that, maybe. Let's take a look over there. Otherwise, it's going to take a while to get all of this going. So let's see. This guy is working. We have plenty of liquid in here now. Yeah, we have 16,000 moles of liquid CO2. This guy, 65 degrees. And we are getting pollutant and CO2. So say we did a connector, right? Where was it? Right here. So say I just did a connector there, and I used this one right here. I need more of those pipe things. Yeah, these guys. Let's try this out. So condensation valve, we open that up. And we connect it in right there. What do we get in there? Okay, so we get liquid pollutant and liquid CO2. It is at a pretty high temperature though. Okay. So if we do that, let's grab a liquid tank. A portable liquid tank, because then we can connect that in over there with our pollutant line. So let's do portable liquid tank Mark II. We'll just do one of these guys. There we go. How's our outpost doing? Getting semi-low on fuel. I still need to bring those backpacks back so we can see how much we're producing. Let's top up food and water while we're waiting on this tank. Got our food, water topped up, and now we can try out this portable liquid tank. We can fill up this connector over here with liquid pollutant. So if we do something like that, connect that in, and we can see that we do get some liquid pollutant in there. It does cool down pretty quick. We can turn that on. The CO2 will kind of act as a pressurant. What we could actually do... happens if we do something like this. We'll just do a turbo pump here so we can control in and out. Let's do some experimenting, see what happens here. So if we do that and we pressurize this enough, just had to turn it on for a second. We'll set it down to 10 liters. So we're up to 2.52. I should do a little bit more. There we go. So now we are up to 3.6. So this should start condensing our pollutant, I believe. So let's look, 51 degrees Celsius. So we would need to be up above 4. And let's turn this down a little bit. There we go. So now we are getting liquid pollutant. Not happy with that stress. Okay. In that case, we'll pop that guy off. Just needed to pressurize the tank for now. And let's actually take this guy. Let's see what happens when we connect it in over here on this pipe connector. There we go. So as we pull out the pressure, that pollutant will evaporate, turning back into a gas, and then the turbo pump here should pull it out. And then it will re-liquefy in here, and because of the temperature, we don't need to worry about CO2 condensing. So yeah, it should just be pollutant. We can see we are already down to -70. And as that liquid increases in there, it's just going to increase the amount of cooling we can have in our system, I believe. And we're starting to get gas in here now. So let's see, we are down to -80, which means our volatiles are down to -80. Let's go grab that pipe over here. And we'll pick all that stuff back up. Condensation. There we go. And if we look, -84. All right, this guy is down to -87. So we should start seeing our first liquid volatiles coming in. 87, 88. This guy is almost empty, and then we can pick it back up. 89. And volatiles, we need Yeah, so it's just going to be pressure is what we are lacking now. So we have the temperature, it's just pressure that we need. In that case, we'll pull that guy off. And we will do not a volume pump. We'll do pressure regulator here. And this will be a actual pressure regulator. So we'll do something like this. Wire this guy up. We'll pressurize it up to 40. So that should help increase the pressure in here, and then once the pressure is high enough, it will liquefy or condensate into a liquid to then be stored here in our tank. And we could probably do it a little faster if we used a like a turbo pump or a pump or something. And something else that might help as well is if we increase the volume on this guy here. So if we do that, that should increase the pressure in here that the pump can pull from, I believe. So I believe on the next day, so next time it is daytime, we should have enough pressure built up in here that this should start liquefying, and then we can start cooling it. Let's keep an eye on this, see what happens. Can actually go look at our traders too as we are waiting. So let's turn on our satellite dish and see who is out there. Orbital appliances don't really care for, same with the build, that's just building supplies. Star sippers, not sure what they do. Yeah, I have a lot of traders here waiting for, or that we can get a lot of gas from. Just need to be able to sell them some stuff, so maybe we can look at making some consumable packages real quick. So we can make some duct tape, some carbon dioxide filters, some plastic sheets, and some cable coils. We can make a handful of those and then load them into our vending machine here. So let's go take a look at doing that while we're waiting on our pollutant loop to finish. Alright, I think I did that correctly. Should have 10 sets of these. If I did this correctly, I think it was just one duct tape. Oh no, it's 2 duct tapes. Okay. So I just need to add some more duct tape to these, so I'll be right back. Okay, now I got that right. So cable coil, plastic sheets, duct tapes, and carbon dioxide filters. So we can toss all of these in here. And we can sell each of those for, I think 100. So consumable package, perfect. And I think a lot of these traders wanted a consumable package, yeah. Let's see what the big guy wants. See if I can sell that to him. Perfect. Wish I could sell him more, but just wants one. So this will give us some money. Consumable package. There we go. This guy does not want one. He wants food or cake. Let's see if there's... I think I have a trader inside the big hangar. Yeah. See if he wants one. Or she. Not sure. The robot. Nope. Okay. And what are they selling? Bulk oxygen, bulk nitrogen. Nitrogen would be good. We can get the farm back up and running. Bulk volatiles, so I don't have to go mine some more ice. Dirty volatiles. Give us some pollutant. But nah. We'll hold off on that for now. Okay. Let's go check. Let's take a look. So, negative 55 degrees. Must be because we are up to 20 megapascals in here. So I wonder if the heat from this reduced the cooling on there. So this is just waiting to condense, I believe. Anything in our pipe network yet? No. But that's fine. Just gonna take some time, I believe. This guy empty? It is. Okay. So, pop that guy apart. Yeah, I think this is just going to take some time to process through. Yeah, negative 56, 55. Yeah, just not that much pollutants in here. Let's check in over here, see how this is working. So got some nitrous in there. It is processing through up to 426 moles now in here. 158 liters still. Yeah, so we have 1 megapascal of pressure. Which I think we just need to increase the pressure on here, and then this should liquefy again. Let's look. Nitrous. Yeah, 2. So as long as we stay up above 2, or right around 2, this will liquefy and then it will pull in our liquid nitrous. Let's leave this at, say, 20 megapascals and see how it runs. Now let's see. So we are sitting at 26.3 in there, 54.7. That should cool down eventually. I wonder if it would be worth it to put a pump on here to pull out stuff like we are doing over here. Yeah, temperature is good in there. think we need to process some oxide so we can get some more nitrogen in the system in the base. Let's go take a look at that. Don't have any oxide. Any on me? Yep, we do have some on us, so let's go dump our bags. Keep a row of oxide on us. And there's that. From my last outpost run. Anything over here I want to bring in with us now? It's all good. Head back in, take a look underneath the base. Alright, 20 oxide. Let's process all 20 of those, so hit that. And we should see this guy vending. That's our water. There's our oxide. We do need to set up a water vending as well. That will get us some nitrogen, I believe. Water, ice. Water, ice, water. Yeah, 5 moles of nitrogen. But we'll head back in the base, top up our food and water. Alright, and while we wait on everything, let's go work on the liquid trader and gas collection system. That's what I'm gonna call it. So what do I need for that? Probably some more of those pipe connector things. Possibly. Valves. Pipe valves. That's the word I'm looking for. So we'll get another stack of those going. We have pipes and everything on us. We will need the modular console. So let's get that. Same with input and displays. Oh, actually, I'm gonna need more displays. So display, modular console displays. We have 5, so let's do 45. There we go. So we'll need those. What else do we need? Pressure. We got volume pumps. Yeah, we'll need the what is it called? Regulators, pressure regulators. Where are they? There we go. Pressure regulators, and we'll just do 10 of those as well. Okay. And we'll clean up our mess here. Some more cables. Okay, so we'll need the pressure regulators, the... So we're taking a little bit of time. There we go. Yeah, because we need the purge valves for that. Okay. So that should be everything we need. Let's go set this up. We'll just go out this door here. We'll check on our volatiles, see if we're making any liquid. So negative 54. Nothing in there yet. Let's actually set this down to 10 megapascals. There we go. Okay. So we'll let that thing do, or we'll let that do its thing. Down here. So on the liquids, we are going to need, I think, one of these, right? So if we do a purge valve right there. Into a pressurant valve. Set this guy to be 5500. Turn that on. Set that, guy to 0. So any of our liquids, we will have this setup going. So what this will do is when we have a liquid that we are trading for, so say we buy some liquid nitrous, when we turn on our turbo pump to drain the liquid from the pipe, there's going to be gas in there as well, and these liquid turbo pumps can't pull out the gas. So that's where the purge valve comes into play. It will suck that gas, put it into a gas pipe, and then we use the pressurant valve to push it back in to our liquid pipe. So let's hook this guy up. We can do that by just running this straight across. This is our turbo volume pump liquid NO2. Purge valve NO2. So basically when this turns on, this turns on. Okay, so that's that one done. We don't need to worry about it for the gases, so all of those are fine. Then we have our liquid CO2 over here. So we'll do same thing, and then purge right there. Set that guy to 0. Set this one to 5500. Put a chip in here, import it. And let's jump upstairs. Let's check on this over here. So nothing in there yet. Down to negative 54. We are evaporating though. We're up to negative 65 in there, negative 57 over here. We are making pollutants though. Yeah, and pressure is building back up in there. Let's go put down our trading console. which I am thinking we do it right over here. Yeah, I think we just do it right there, like that. Paint it black so it's a little easier to see. Doesn't kill my eyesight. Okay. Paint these gray. So displays, if we do light diode, label diode 3, yeah. Let's see, how many did we need? So 5 and 5. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll do next one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we are back. Sorry for the another jump there, but I think I have it organized now for our code for controlling our trade platform. So the way this is going to work is just like we are doing with our silo control. We're going to have two scripts or two codes that all it does is populate the stack at main. And the way we are going to do this is the different addresses. So address 0 through 24 in this case for this code controls our gas and liquid diodes as well as our turbo pumps for the gas, liquid, and purge valves. And the way we will access that is using this format. So whatever our number is, so say we have CO2 on 1, that will go through. So we would do if it's CO2 will be 0. So 0 plus 0 will give us the address 0. So that would access the CO2 gas diode here. And then 0 plus 1 would be our liquid diode, which is right there. And then 0 plus 2 is our pump gas. So our turbo pump for the gas. And then 4 would be our turbo pump for our liquid. And then 5 or 4. Yeah, so 2, 3, and then 4 would be our purge. And then we have special cases for our gas analyzer, our liquid analyzer, and then our LEDs for the gas pressure and the liquid moles. So that is this code. Our second code is our trade platforms. So kind of the same thing. So it's set up for 8 landing pads right now. So 3x3 A, B, C, D, 7x7 A, B, and then 3x3 O2 and 9x9 O2. And we are using addresses 30 through 61. And same kind of idea. So N plus 0 would be our gas small diode, our liquid small diode, which all that will do is turn on the outputs. Yeah, it should turn on the outputs. Yeah, so this diode will control the output for the gas output on that trading platform. So when we turn the diode on or off, it will turn on that landing pad specific gas output or liquid output. So same kind of idea. So 30 through 61 is how we will access these ones. And we have a storm at the moment, but let's see. Let's grab our laptops here. And we'll restock our food and water while we wait. There we go, storm is over, perfect timing. So let's put our suit back on, and then we will go back out. Make sure I have enough housings. I do. Okay. I came in over here, so go out this way. Alright, so let's put down our housings. So we're going to have 3 housings, just like our silo control. There we go. So this is main. This will be part 1. And this will be part 2. So we will export this guy, put it in as part 1. Then we will export this guy, put it in as part 2. And let's name these. So I see trade P1. Trade P2. Which means this one is going to be our trade main. And we have those exported now, so we can load this guy back in, edit it, and then we will go through and make our code for controlling everything. Okay, I think I will actually cut here, and then I'll bring you guys back once I have the code figured out. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to do this, so see you guys here in a moment. Alright, so we are back. Got the code figured out. Should be working, hopefully. So let's go over it. So this is how our stack is laid out on our main control chip. So address 0 through 24 is all of our pumps and purge valves. And then 30 through 31 are our trade platforms and the gas output and liquid outputs. So we have our offsets here. So our diode offsets, our gas offsets, and our purge valve offset for our pump control. And then we have our offset for our trades here. And then we are loading into our R15, our gas analyzer, our liquid analyzer, our LED gas display, our LED liquid display, which is the moles. And then we have a register that we are using as our index, as well as our trade index. And then we have our base address, which is how we navigate through the stack. And then we have some definitions here. So the number of gases that we are currently using is 5. The length of the stack that we are stepping through each time, which is basically this right here, is 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So that's how we get this value. Same with our trade stride. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's just for the code to know how many times it needs to go through before it moves on to the next gas. So at the start, we save our reference ID for our gas analyzer, so we can use load and save instead of using the batch load batch name and save batch name. And then same with our LEDs, and then we set our indexes to 0 on start. And basically this is our turbo pump control. So what we are doing is I'm just displaying the what index we are currently on, saving that to the IC housing so we can check it if we need to. But basically the base address is what we use to navigate through the code. We start with our index and we multiply that by our stride length. So when we are at index 0, we multiply that by 5. That gives us 0. So then our base address is 0. And then we add our offsets. So diode gas is 0, so it'd just be 0 plus 0. That tells what address to use to get the reference ID for the diode. And then when we get to the pump gas, that offset was 2. So you would add 0 plus 2. We're storing these in different registers, so R0 here. And then we just use that to as our address to get the next reference ID. And then basically, once we have the reference IDs, as you can see here, so I have the diode gas, the pump gas, so the turbo pump gas. Once I have those two, I go in and I load to see if the diode has been switched on or off. If it is, and then I take that value, so either 0 or 1, and then turn the pump either on or off. So that's what this is doing right here. And then here we are just changing the color of the diode. So if the diode is on, meaning the pump's on, it goes green. If it's off, then we are red. And then same thing down here, except for we also have the purge valve on our liquids. So it's doing the same thing. So we are just checking to see if the diode is on, storing that value in R0. R3 is our diode for our liquid. And then we save to R4 and R5, which is our pump liquid and our purge valve. We save the value from the diode in R0 to those devices. And then same thing, we just update the color on the display or the diode. And then we take our index once we have iterated through a gas. We take our index and we just add 1 to it and then save that value. And then we do a set greater than or equal to on R0 here, the index and the number of gases. So this is checking to see if we went past the amount of gases that we have. So it acts as a kind of like a railing to make sure our code is staying within the address bounds. And basically what it does is if this is true, meaning that we are equal to or past the number of gases, then this becomes 1, and then we check here with a select. So if we are a value of 1, it resets our index back to 0. Otherwise, we just keep progressing with our index. And we have our trade output control, which is pretty much the same thing, taking that trade index and updating the value on the setting value on our housing just so we can see it. And then same process, we just take our base address as our register that we're using, and we take our trade index and then multiply it by the trade stride. The only difference is that because the base address is starting at 30, we add 30 to that value. That way everything lines up correctly. And then same thing, we're just getting all the reference IDs, and then we're going through and turning stuff on and off based on the diode, and then changing the color as well. And then same logic here at the end to make sure we stay within bounds. So we add 1 to our trade index to increase it or increment it. Check to see if we went past the number of trade platforms, and then do the select thing again to see either reset the index or keep progressing. So that is our code. Let's put on our suit and we can go and check. Make sure everything is working. So we have our main code here, our part 1 and our part 2, just like before. We have all of our different light diodes here, which I will reorganize this between episodes, but for now this will work so we can see how much pressure we have in our gas pipe and how many moles we have in our liquid pipe. So what we could do first off is we can check to see if our outputs are all working correctly. So we'll just turn all of these guys on. So everything is green, and as you can see, all of our platforms are on. Just double check this. So those guys are on, these guys are on, those guys, and those guys. And we can look inside our hangers. Those guys are on, and then the ones over on the 9x9 are on as well. And we can check, make sure everything is working by flipping them off. There we go. So everything is off now. And if we look, those are off, those are off, those are off, those are off, 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 and our hangers are off as well. So perfect. So those are working correctly. And we'll go check our pumps and stuff down here in the bottom of the base. So I did add in liquid stuff for our oxygen, our nitrogen, our volatiles. I'm running that up and connecting it over to our volatile tank. Then our nitrous and our CO2, which we already had. And then this one is our CO2. Forgot to paint this one. And same with that guy. So we can see a little bit better, so. Forgot to paint the piping over here. Okay. So this is our CO2 gas turbo pump. Then we have our oxygen, our volatile, our nitrogen, our nitrous. So everything is off currently. Same with our purge valves. So let's go flip all the switches and see if everything turns on. So if we flip all of these guys and these guys, so we can see it iterating through, and we can also look on here and see that the state is changing. So it's incrementing up to 7. And then let's go check underneath. And as you can see, turbo pumps are all on. Same with the purge valves. So those are all on. These are all on. And those guys are all on. And we're using purge valves in our liquid pipes because when we trade for any gases or any liquids, what's going to happen is just like what we are waiting on here for our volatiles to cool down. We have gas in the pipe, but we won't have any gas, or the liquid turbo pumps cannot move gases. So we have to use a purge valve to pull the gas out of the liquid pipe. And then we just push it back through into the liquid pipe on the other end. So that's what this little loop is doing. So we pull everything out, so that's why it's set to 0. We pressurize it in here, and then we take this gas and then push it into our liquid pipe. And we have this set up to 5,500 kilopascal, because max pressure on a liquid pipe is 6 megapascal before you start damaging it. But we can go and flip everything off now. There we go. So everything is off. And then I added this in So our analyzers are right here, so we can quickly come over and check and just verify that everything is working when we are trading for any of these gases. But that is pretty much it. That gets our trade platforms completely set up. The only thing I still have left to do is just run a pipe to connect our liquid and gases from our hangers over to these pipes here, which shouldn't be too hard. Just be connecting this in and running it straight across there, which I might just go right here in the middle underneath the hangers. But I'll take care of that in between episodes. And let's see, how much cash do we have? 474. Let's see if we can't trade for some stuff. So let's see what this guy has. So what we really need is some nitrogen. So let's buy some nitrogen. So this will get us, was that 4,000 moles of nitrogen? If I'm doing that math correctly, 40 for 120. And if we look, we have 4,000 moles in there. Our capacity is 1,000 liters with the 2 tanks. And this is landing pad A. So we will turn on landing pad A gas. And as you can see, our pressure is starting to fill up in here. So that's all of our nitrogen. And this guy is emptying. And then we can turn on our nitrogen gas pump. So, and gas. Turn that on, and we should see that this number starts decreasing. And this guy is empty, so we can turn off our output right there. There it goes. So there is a little bit of a delay just because we are going through and checking everything. And we can see that everything is emptying out. Let's go look. So we see nitrogen in our pipe. This is starting to pressurize. And we should have, yeah, just over 4,000 moles now of nitrogen in our big storage here. And that guy is almost empty. And let's go back to our trade. And so now we can see once it hits 0, then we can just flip our gas off. Which some quality of life improvements we could do for our code is do a check on that pressure. If the pressure is 0, then we can just set the pump to being off if we wanted to. I don't think that would be too complicated to implement. Same with our moles, so if we hit 0 moles, then we just shut off our liquid pump. But we have that trade successful. Let's see if there's anything else. I think we have some liquid traders over here. That's a C guy. Is this guy a liquid trader? Let's look. Yep, he is. So we do need some liquid volatiles. So let's see how much we could buy of that. So 20 liters of liquid volatiles. So we'll do that. And as you can see, we got our 20 liters in here, negative 180 degrees Celsius. And then let's test out our liquid side of our script. And what's nice about this system is we don't have to wait for this to completely empty like we would need to in other ways I've done this system. So what I can do is, that is 7x7A liquid. So I'll turn that on and we should see the moles start going up. So that is good. And then I will do volatile liquid, turn that guy on. And we should see that the moles go down. Let's go check. So we have our liquid volatiles and we have that gas stuck in our pipe, but it is going down because we have our purge valve. And that this pressurant valve also pulled everything out of there, so that's good. And now we have liquid volatiles in there, which it's going to have to pressurize that pipe, so that's why we don't have the full 20 liters there. But that is good to go. And let's go take a look here. So now we have some liquid in there. And we are just waiting for this guy to cool down now. And then it will start pushing liquid in. And I think I'm gonna have to play around with this because I think, let's take a look at pollutant again. So it's currently negative 38 degrees outside. So that's gonna be 2600 for pressure. Okay, yeah, so it's not going to condense, which means we can actually go we'll want to set this side to the highest end, so 5800 pretty much. So let's go 5800. So if we do that, it's going to start condensing our pollutant now. And then that will start pressurizing this pipe here with more liquid pollutant, which will then start evaporating and cooling. So negative 68. And then we have this set to, what is this, 20 megapascals. So once this cools down enough, then it will also start liquefying. And yeah, this is just taking the heat or whatever the temperature is in the environment or the atmosphere and using that as the heat exchange. That's what the cowling's doing, which I think that is fine. So our liquid is going up. Yeah, we already have 17 liters in there. Pressure in here is dropping. Okay, so it filled up to 20 liters of pollutant. We have a capacity of 460. I don't think we need to fill this up completely. It's probably actually good right now, but I'll play around with that in between episodes. We can see temperature is decreasing, which is lowering the temperature in here. So that's good. And if I'm reading that right, it means we are losing 6.16 kilojoules of energy, thermal energy. A tick. Yeah, we're already down to -70. So perfect. Yeah, I think that will work. And we'll build up a little bit of supply of pollutant in case we want to expand that system so we can make stuff a little quicker. But if we look, our pipes are all good. Or empty. So we'll turn those off, turn that guy off as well. And everything's good. But yeah, I think I will end the episode here. So we did a lot today. Looking at my recording, I think, yeah, we're at 4 hours and 40 minutes of recorded video. So I'm going to have some fun editing this. But thank you so much for hanging out. We got our liquid volatile production set up and running. We have our liquid nitrous production. Let's see, so 160 liters still. So that's nice to see. So with this combination, we'll start working on our rockets in the next episode. Building our first rocket. So we have our rocket launch towers here, as well as the umbilical towers for putting all of our cables on. So we'll be able to start taking this liquid fuel and pushing it over into our to start making our rockets and getting them filled up and charged. That's what our main power line here is for. But thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.